Hi, this is Captain Pat with Silver Seas Yachts, and today we're going to be doing our first shakedown sea trial on the new 2020 Princess F45 motor yacht. 2 stateroom, 2 head, high performance, high fit and finish, high level of seakeeping. And of course today is April 8th in Seattle, Washington, so we're going to do the responsible, socially distant sea trial today. I'll be single-handed and using the camera, so hopefully you can be a little understanding, and we'll try to give you a good feel for what this boat's all about and what she's capable of. I'm looking forward to it myself. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fire up the engines. So we already have the generator warmed up. We've taken in shore power. We will hit the ignition for port, ignition for starboard, and then we'll give them each just one touch. One touch. And there we go. Oil pressure coming up. We like to see that. And last but not least, we'll go ahead and put her into docking mode on the joystick so that we're ready to go. And we'll go get our lines ready. Okay, we'll start here by, we already have our spring lines off. I'll get the bow line off, get that secured. I'm just going to secure that, since I am single-handed today. I'm going to secure that right back here to this cleat. And make sure the boat's staying where it should. We'll walk back, get our stern line in, and away we go. Stern line's in. Plenty of time to kick my shoes off here. And let's see how this boat handles getting away from the dock. We'll give a little bit of sideways motion. So I'm literally holding the camera with one hand and controlling the joystick with the other. Boy, these joysticks have really changed boating, haven't they? Nice view out the back here. Boy, how nice. You can just lean your head right out the window here and see right what's going on. So we're going sideways against the wind here, turning at the same time. You can see a pretty nice little breeze coming in on us here.
Zero, this is tender.
We'll just go sideways. Sorry, a little chatter on the VHF there. We'll go sideways here, right into the wind. Plenty of power. And we'll start turning her. Hopefully I'm not making anybody sick with the way I'm handling the camera here while driving the boat at the same time. So that's it. I'm gonna come out here and engage the dynamic positioning and walk around and get fenders up and get ready to go, and we'll join back up with you when we're getting ready to come to an area where we can accelerate a little faster. Okay, so while we're idling along in this no wake zone here, I figured I'd take the opportunity to talk about some of the bells and whistles and gizmos on this boat. So right now we're just steering with the steering wheel. Seems kind of common sense, but in some ways a little old school today, because on a long slow run like this, it's kind of handy to come over here and we hit this button here that is called joystick steering, and the vessel is now going to lock on to a heading, hold that heading, and if I want to change that heading, I can either go a degree or two at a time. And if you look up at the electronics, you'll see the new heading coming along there. We've come just a few degrees to the left. Or if I want to do a more extreme turn, I can just push over and we'll do a pretty extreme turn here. So I'll bring her back around and lock back on. So again, I'm just doing this all with the joystick. Well, I can kind of use my electronics as a gauge here as well. They kind of tell me what course I'm locking into. Hopefully you can see we're doing about 6.4 knots, 1170 RPMs, burning a total of 3 gallons an hour. So we're getting a little over 2 miles to the gallon. We are running our Seakeeper at the moment. Seakeeper gyro stabilization. That's quite nice. We've got our VHF over here. We talked about the joystick docking. We talked about the position hold. I did use that when I went around and got fenders up, but we're heading out to the lake now, so I'm not going to engage that now. Basically, you just hit a button and the boat holds in its exact position and doesn't change heading or position. Uses GPS and a compass to do that. Pretty neat feature. Kind of nice here. You've got our air conditioning vents. It's kind of like a car. We can aim that whatever direction we want. We can turn it on, turn it off. I talked earlier about this opening window. Quite a nice feature. I can get some cool breeze coming in. Same thing on the other side. Yeah, overall, another neat feature. So even though we are on joystick steering now, if I wanted to just take control really quick and I didn't want to hunt for the button or anything, there's a little resistance on the wheel. I just turn past that resistance. I now have control of the boat with the traditional steering wheel. And then if I just leave this alone for a moment, don't touch it, it'll re-engage and lock onto this new course that I've set it on. So again, everything very user-friendly, very intuitive, and fun boat to run even at idle like this. You can hear how nice and quiet it is in here, even at 1200 RPMs. And yeah, so we've got about another 15-20 minutes till we can push the throttles forward. So we'll sign off here for now and join back up when it's time to hit the throttles and have some fun with this toy. Okay, here we are on Lake Washington, and out where we're allowed to go fast and have fun. So we've got Mount Rainier out in the background today. It's a beautiful day out here, and you'll notice we're still 1200 RPMs, about 7 knots, about 3 gallons per hour at this speed. So we'll just slowly go ahead. We have auto trim tabs on this boat, so we don't really have to do a whole lot with the trim tabs. Just push the throttles forward. Again, I'm in joystick driving, so no need to hand steer at this point. The computer's kind of doing it all for me. 50 RPMs, 24.5 knots, 24.8, maybe 25, we'll see. I'm gonna check my trim here. Yeah, I'm actually gonna add a little bit of trim, help this auto out a little. There we go, bring the bow down a little bit. There we go, that feels a little better. Certainly helps our visibility a lot. Go. Nice. So just for fun, we'll do this joystick steering once or twice. That's just kind of a fine adjustment. So again, I'm adjusting that by twisting this. That's kind of bringing us right around there. And then if we wanted to do a more aggressive turn, again, we just push this joystick to the side. That's going to give us a much more aggressive ability to turn here. Come back to the port. Nice. So we're 39 gallons an hour, 25 knots, 3,300 RPM. Why don't we try bringing her back just a little bit? Actually, before we do that, why don't we do a real quick wide open here. I see we got a kayaker up in front of me, so I'm gonna come off this way, give him plenty of space. There we go. And real quickly, we'll open her up. Fresh water here, so she'll be a little faster on salt. There's 30 knots, 30, about 30 knots wide open. Brand new boat. I'm not going to do that too long, so we'll bring her back here to a more appropriate cruising RPM. Actually, why don't we bring her even a little back further, kind of run along at a nice slow and easy 22 knots. Let's see where that settles in. Feels pretty nice, that's for sure. Great visibility again. Opening window. Turn off the joystick steering, do a little hand steering here. So again, we're 21.5, 22 knots. Seems real happy at about that point. I'll give just a touch more RPM, bring it to 22 knots. Kind of crank the wheel around a little bit here. Very responsive. Nice. And just a final little update. So that's 35 gallons an hour now, 22 knots, 3,200 RPM. These are the Volvo IPS 650s. We'll join back up with you here in a few minutes. Okay, well, as you can see, we've been out for quite a while playing around, and I'm going to do my best to do this single-handed. I'm probably going to have to turn this off when it comes time to actually tie the boat up, but at least you can see how easy it is to bring it into the slip and get it situated, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Give you a little pan around. Here, Space Needle. Downtown Seattle. Sorry, I kind of got to hold this back here so that I can see while I'm docking. We're going to go on the inside of that boat. So I'm going to end up turning this camera around a little bit. Not sure if you can see the dock back there or not, but I can, so I guess that's the important thing here. Little fine touches on the joystick gives you this kind of control. Alright, I think we should be there. Let's take a look. Yeah, not too bad. Just kissing the dock here. I'm gonna turn it off and tie her up. Okay, well, thanks for going for our sea trial with us today on the Princess F45. Beautiful boat. And look forward to showing her to you in person, answering any questions we can. Have a great day. This is Capt and Pat with Silver Seas Yachts. See you on the water.